Hi guys, here and welcome again. Join me on another episode. This one's going to be a difference. As you can see in the background here, we have a map of the UK. We're going to be taking off here from Echo Golf Papa Hotel, and I'm going to be taking a V.F.R tour of the UK following all this map. But there's going to be a slight difference. I'm also going to be doing it here with Caalair. So I'll be taking part with them and doing this in VATSIM and using their cars, and I am also doing it with Channel X. Now, Channel X is the other airline that Mr. Brian Mason, who kindly donated the tour for me, who did all the routing for it, and we're going to be taking this chariot fire with us. It's the A2A's 182, and I'll be taking this around, and we'll be taking all ourselves all around the coastlines, and hopefully you'll get to see things like this aircraft provides us, like maintenance, breakdowns, etc. So you'll get to experience this all with me. What do you call it, as we tour around the UK. We're going to be taking off here from Edinburgh Airport, and we're going to be taking her up to Aberdeen Airport, and then we'll be carrying on the rest of the journeys in the next episode. As I said, in this one I'll be using two key cars to track the flights, one for Caalair and one for Channel X. And just to add on the extra pressure, I'm going to be doing bits of this mostly on VATSIM. So hopefully you'll enjoy me, and we'll get around to doing much more. And this is the first episode. In the background you can see here I'm running around the walk around checks just now, checking everything all out. So let's get this aircraft all up and ready, and let's take this girl around the tour. So next time you hear from me, I'll be joining myself in the cockpit. Well, there was the checks and the walkarounds all done there just before we took take off. So this is me. I'm going to be getting there, and I'm in contact with VATSIM throughout this flight. So let's talk a little bit about the route that I'm going to be taking. So if I get myself out here, here's Sky Vector. We're going to be taking off from Edinburgh Airport, EGPH. We're going to be flying over Leuchars, that's the RAF Leuchars, or formerly RAF Leuchars, just outside St Andrews in Scotland. And then we're going up to Aberdeen. So as you can see, here we go. We're starting here with VATSIM giving us all our instructions. Periodically I'll be speeding up the videos in between, because who wants to sit there and watch a complete 1 hour of me just flying about? So I'm going to be shortening the video, fading in and out, and I'm just going to be taking you through what I'm doing. So in a moment we're going to be taxiing here. We're going to be taking off from runway 24, I think it is, here at Edinburgh, and we're going to be taxiing down here. And we'll line up, we'll take off, and we're going to be turning to the right, and then we're going to be heading up north via a place called Kelty, which was instructed via the VATSIM. As you can see, just more instructions come through just before we get to take off. And here we go, we get ourselves lined up, and make sure everything's all ready. So this is all lined up, and let's start this tour. Let's just get ourselves ready. Let's see, this is the first leg of the tour, which is taking us up to Aberdeen. The second part is going to be from Aberdeen to Wick. I may be doing a touch and go in Inverness, provided I don't have too much problems with the Sim 720 or 710. I think it's 720. Would you call it scenery, which is quite good. So I may do a touch and go there. Depends. I might end up carrying on, or I may end up using the new V.F.R scenery airport for Inverness. Just depends what happens. So let's get this A2A into the air. And as you can see here, I'm off to a bad start. Yes, let's try and get this corrected. That's it. Deviation. It's so sensitive on the rudder, this one. So get the power in. I've got the headphone jacks plugged in to try and keep it quiet. That bleeping in the background is what you can hear as my V-Pilot trying to model match things that are in the air at the moment. Shame they gave up the, what do you call it, IVO part. It was really good. So that's us getting the takeoff taken care of. Let's get this aircraft stabilised and just be careful, watch I don't stall it. I'm pretty close to it. Yeah, trying to get there because I'm fighting a bit of weather here. As you can see, the clouds out here are quite low. Weather was not looking too promising before I checked this in. The weather here is provided by Active Sky. So this is us making our right turn, and we're going to be starting to head towards the Forth Road Bridge and Railway Bridge. Down there is the Haymarket Bridge. What do you call it? It's the main line from Edinburgh to Glasgow. And you can see there the Forth in the distance. And let's get ourselves a bit closer, and there you can just make out the start of the Forth Railway Bridge. I'm not a person for sitting there being proud of my country, but damn, that is one good looking bridge. And there's the Forth Road Bridge on the left. They're currently building another bridge called the Queen's Ferry Crossing. I don't know when that's going to be complete. I think it's going to be complete in 2016. The date of this video is 26th of the 10th 2015, that I have managed to hopefully get this all recorded and finished. So there's going to be 3 crossings, and I wonder if somebody's going to plug that into the FSX world. As I said, this is the scenery that I got from Play Sims. What do you call it? I've got 3 volumes there for Volume 1, 2 and 3. The Volume 1 is the V.F.R Airfields Scotland Volume 1 and V.F.R Airfields South, and another one is Airfields Scotland North and Central. So we're taking off. We're starting to head northbound. We're going up towards, you can see in the distance, like a hill dead ahead there in our northbound section. That area there is called Kelty. It's just a very, very small village in Scotland, but the area is good for a focal point for us. Not the route I was wanting to go, but I've got to go with what VATSIM tell me to do to try and keep myself out of the Edinburgh Airport clearance area. But with a bit of luck, I'm going to get some clearance to get us down towards Glenrothes and head over to Fife Airport, which you can see here, which I managed to do. And you can see that weather up ahead there is not looking too great. Yep, as you can see, you've got to be really careful when you're flying this, especially with a ceiling of 2,500 feet. You've got to keep that in mind when we're flying this. This tour is available in Caalair, and I think it's still available on Channel X. You need to contact Mr. Mason for his information on that. But here we go, we're just coming across, what do you call it, Fife, what do you call it, airport, somewhere down there. It's down, I think I'm right above it. Let's get a better view. And there it is down below me. And you can see me flying overhead. There's a better view there. You can actually see it in the background. Just a small general aviation airfield that is. and down below you can see the factories and that stuff of Glenrothes. I can vouch for that because I used to travel up and down there quite a lot. So we come up here for Glenrothes, and next point that we're going to be taking is we're going to get ourselves closer to St Andrews and the former base of RAF Leuchars. So let's fade out and bring us in closer. Fantastic in there, Active Sky providing the soft clouds. Sorry, Active Sky is not providing the soft clouds, it is Rex soft clouds. Sorry, getting them confused. This is a beautiful aircraft A2A make. As you can see here, that's my puppy of choice for this one. You can just see the T-bridge there in the distance. So as you can see here, there's the river and it flows by a place called Leuchars and Dundee Bridge, and somewhere over on the right here is St Andrews. So this is us just coming up to Leuchars just now. It's been modelled well. Let's see if we can see anything. On the right here is St Andrews. Lovely place. If you've not been to St Andrews, I would recommend you take a wee trip into that place. And a wee plug for my company is they've just opened up a new premier in there. And there we go. There down on the left hand side is the former base of the RAF Winter Sector Row. There was Tornadoes there, but just then before they got handed over to the British Army, there was the Eurofighter Typhoons based here. And as we're going to be flying above it, let's see if we can see any. I think there's one right underneath me just now. Nope. Yep. There is. You can just see them and no more. Making them out. The delta line shapes on them. Yeah. Nicely modelled as well, this, I must admit. I'm really impressed with this modelling of this. Used to love going up there, seeing the Scottish Air Show. Seeing the actual Typhoons doing their things, and even the GR4 flying Tornadoes. I must admit, one of my favourite ones out of a lot of them was the F-16. Oh, you certainly feel that power when that afterburner kicks in that one. As you can see, all the aircraft, the bomb, the ammunition dumps, etc. all over the place. Just a shame it's now been handed over to the army. Yeah, well. But that seems to be the case up here in Scotland. The RAF seem to be slowly but surely pulling out. The next point that we're going to be going up from Aberdeen is we're going to be passing over two other RAF bases. So let's get ourselves here, let's get us into our turn. Let's start heading up to the city of Dundee, also known as the City of Discovery. There is a beautiful ship that lies right down in the waterfront, called, funny enough, Discovery. It was an ice-breaking ship made of timber, would you believe it or not. You can actually go and visit it. Oh god, this weather's starting to look pretty gnarly. I will carry on. So again, the City of Dundee, there's a lot to see in Dundee. Again, I can vouch for that place as well. There's a lot in it for you to go, see, look around and maybe enjoy. And as you can see, I've got my wee cursor up here, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit. There is the T-bridge, more famous for the T-bridge disaster where the train came off because of bad building and killed everybody on board it. And on the left side you can still see the old parapets of the bridge itself. They've just recently opened up a memorial for it. And on the right there, as you can see, there was the T-bridge for the cars. Quite a low bridge, not a high bridge, but it's a very long bridge, no longer at all. So you see also in the distance there was Dundee Airport. What do you call it? It does have commercial flights. I think it still flies down to Jersey. I could be wrong, and one time it did have EasyJet flying in and out of there. I don't think that's going to be the case anymore. I think EasyJet have now closed that flight. So the City of Discovery, what do you call it? And we're going to be taking it right here. I'm going to go up the coastline. We're going to go to a place called Ahrix, more famous for its smoked fish. Ahrix, the Ahrix smokies, I think they're called. If people like their fish or know their fish. Personally, I can't eat fish, so it does not really interest me. But that's what that place is famous for. Many times I spent up this time with a military camp called Barry Budden, doing a bit of training. And you can see the docks down there with the oil refinery part. down there. Yep, well modelled, I can tell you that, I can vouch for that being there. And there was an oil rig thing down there, but that oil rig is getting built, I think it is, because the company makes them down there. So this is just coming up beyond my broth, and looking out there, that weather's starting to deteriorate again. This is going to be interesting the more north we go, I think, and this is going to be the kind of like the feature of this series, the weather. And I think the weather's going to be playing a major part in things for us. So the next day what we're going to be doing, we're going to be flying over a broth, somewhere there in the back there somewhere, and have a look around, see if we can see anything. Nothing much of interest there. So we're continuing up this coastline here. We'll see what else is going to be happening. This bit, I must admit, if you're driving up to Aberdeen, I class this as quite the boring section if you're ever driving up the 90. There's not really much to see on the road on the way up. It's kind of mostly all farmland on the way up here. But if you hug the coastline, I've been told it's pretty good. We'll be carrying her up here, and as you can see in the distance, this weather's starting to take a little bit of turn for the worse, so I'll need to do a bit of pre-planning. As I was saying, we carry on up this coastline. You come to a place called Leuchars. I was going to try and get into there later on this flight, and you pass over the place of Stonehaven. Stonehaven's probably more famous for the part where you see in the new year where the Vikings come in. They do the traditional walking down the main street with the big massive fireballs swinging around, the Viking ships, etc. I love to go into that little village and actually see what it's like and experience it myself. And let's take a look down the coastline here. Yeah, you can actually see the waves hitting the edge of the coastline. I'm going to have to come in a little bit, I'm getting a wee bit too far out. I don't want to get too far out into this North Sea. As we head further up, we'll come into a place called Aberdeen, and the weather's really taking turn for the worst as we get closer to Montrose. Montrose is another good wee fishing village, what do you call it, on the east coast, and it also has a heritage railway up here as well. Remember, not much, never been on it, but I know it's there. See this weather, I think I'll thread a wee course for it. As you can see there, the weather's really starting to turn around about me. I'm going to really need to keep an eye on this, especially if I'm flying V.F.R. And plus keep within the constraints of the tour, which is 2,500 feet. So let's try and see if we can thread through wee gaps in this. See how we get on. Right. Seem to get through that wee bit okay. It's not too bad, it's just when we're getting closer to these clouds, we're actually seeing gaps in between them. Just from the distance they look quite dense. Just as I say that, I'm starting to run into trouble here. I'm starting to come inwards, try to go in towards a place called Leuchars, and I'm beginning to wonder if this was a wise choice. So I think we'll turn and we'll start heading northbound and head out towards the coastline a little touch again. Yeah, this is steadily getting worse. Don't want to get trapped in here. Plan B. Yep, I'm getting away from that bit. Yep. That disguise and soft clouds working their magic here. I think we'll go towards the coastline. Easier to see between the sea and that, give me a line, something to follow. Or IFR. I follow roads. Try and follow that E90 if it's possible. So we'll head out back up towards the coastline. Just keeping an eye on this weather. Looking a bit more dense up ahead as we go on. Let's see that weather we just came through there at Leuchars. Quite bad. We turn of fate, things are starting to clear up here as we picked up the coastline again. There's me coming by on the A90, just showing you there. That's what I normally see here. This is coming up to a place called Stonehaven, just down there in this wee cove that I was talking to you about earlier on, where they come in with the Viking ships and they swing the big massive fireballs, especially in the new year. Love to go and see that festival when it ever happens, but time always seems to be my problem. You call it with the logistics that I work in, it doesn't always give me the free time to do things like this. So we'll carry on up here, and that's Aberdeen up here in the city, just up here on the left hand side, excuse me. What I want to do now is I've tuned in my navigational radios. I want to pick up the V.F.R, and we'll start to make our turns in towards Aberdeen Airport. As you can see, Aberdeen's up there. Aberdeen, for a fun fact, is the oil capital of the UK, also known as the Granite City, because of the biggest quarry around here. Produce most of the building materials for the buildings, so it's known as Grey, the Grey City. But it has a lot in it. It has a fantastic beachfront and promenade where you can actually do surfing, and the weather is not as bad as what people make out to be up here in Aberdeen. Sometimes it can be really warm up here. If you get it right up here, but don't get me wrong, in the winter it can be extremely cold, but it does get its fair share of good time. Good golfing up here as well. Lots to see and do around about Aberdeen. It's a big city, and the airport is very, very busy with helicopter charter flights taking oil workers out to the oil rigs, and what do you call it, to and fro, which makes the airport really one of the busiest helicopter places in the UK at the moment. And sorry, weather's picking up me there. So if you ever go up here, there's another airline up here that's based up here, Eastern Airways. I think they used to have 2000s. So this is us making our approach into Aberdeen Airport. Aberdeen Airport is quite high up actually compared to the city. The city's quite low down. And you can see you coming in just now. There's this, and the harbour on the right hand side. The harbour is always busy, and the coastline's always busy with the support vessels that take stuff out to the oil rigs. All the way up to as far as Peterhead, and even touches in, what do you call it, the Black Isles northbound, have supporting roles to do with oil rigs. As here we go, the A28 just coming in, looking good as ever. And here's the airport in sight. Let's try and get this right, get the speed right. Working it, working it. I think for the next video I'll get rid of that cursor yellow about it. It's quite annoying me. As you can see out the window there, a quick glance across the coastline. This is right at the far end, north side of Aberdeen that the airport is based on. As I said, it's quite high up. So if you're coming in here, watch your elevation. Try and get myself lined up. We're looking for a place called Grampian Aviation. That's where we're going to park up the aircraft. I think it's down there on the right hand side. Sorry, whoop, drifting here from it. I'm catching a bit of wind. Let's get this corrected. Try and get her stable. Still a wee bit off centre. Watching the speed. Trying to adjust. Getting onto the centre line. The A2A, in my opinion, because it's got a very slow trim, is very hard to adjust. It's the only downside I've got against this aircraft, the slow trim. Whoop, whoop. And we go unstable. Just what I don't want. Oh, oh, oh. Let's get this corrected. Whoa, whoa. There we go. Try and keep the centre line. Try and keep the centre line. Kicking the rudder. Kicking the rudder. Going from one end to the other, and bang, right on the centre line. Oh, I'm sure, God man, I thought I'm breaking something here. For sure. I think so. Definitely. It seems to be kind of like working alright. I may have got away with that landing. Dodgy as is. So let's take this exit here. So we're going to take this. Over the side is where the helicopters of Bond are stationed. And we're going to go up where that big red building is up there on the right. And right at the end of that point should be Grampian Aviation. I think it's Grampian Aviation. We'll soon find out as closer we get. And we'll just make our way up this taxiway. In the big red building I was talking about. This is where the Bond helicopters are all serviced. The other side of the runway is the terminal. Continually go up here all the time as well. We've got a Premier Inn just at the airport as well, which is quite busy. And all you hear is the helicopters spinning all the time, even down on the tarmac. So let's make our way across here. For some reason, what I seem to find out about this scenery is they seem to be plonking trees everywhere. Sometimes even on the runway. You'll probably find out in some of the other parts of the tour. So as it's coming by the big red buildings, we're going to line a wee narrow taxiways here, right up towards that kind of like pylon, as you can see trees. And the Grampian Aviation will be up here somewhere on the left. There you go, there it is. It's got the general aviation part down. I think we'll go straight on here. There's the aircraft on the left, the statics, and there's Grampian Aviation in front of this. So let's get this aircraft parked up. I'll get this spinned around, we'll spin it around, get it ready. So it's a nice easy departure for the next video. And we'll get turned, quick turn. Takes a wee bit getting used to turning this aircraft. Once you get there you have to use your differentials. I'll do is there. So there we go, we've secured the aircraft, get it all tied up and that completes our first leg of the Great Britain tour. Hope you enjoyed it with me, and hopefully we'll be doing wee things. If like and comment below, tell me what you want to see more of or less of. Don't forget to hit the like button and see how it goes. So with all my videos, I'm going to leave you just now, and we're going to let you see the landing, which is going to be scary. So join me next time when we take off from here at Aberdeen, and we're going to work our way up to Wick. Thank you for watching. This is me saying goodbye.
Baby,